Breaking. AOC speaks out on Ilhan Omar's anti-Semitic tweets, says I'm proud. Newly elected Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has finally spoken out about her colleague Representative Ilhan Omar, after Omar's apology for anti-Semitism. Omar is still battling controversy, after it was discovered she will be speaking at an event that until recently advertised anti-Semitic speaker Yusuf Abdallah as a featured guest. Washington Examiner reported that controversial speaker advertised as sharing a podium later this month with Representative Ilhan Omar, D. Minnesota, was removed late yesterday afternoon from the promotional materials for the event after my Washington Examiner piece, and a similar story by the Jerusalem Post, highlighted Omar's scheduled participation. Omar press aide Jeremy Slevin sent several Twitter direct messages to me last night asserting that the other speaker, one Yusuf Abdallah, not only was not on the program, but had never been scheduled to speak at the dinner in question. Yet Abdallah had been prominently featured as one of the slated speakers both in flyers and in online advertisements for the event since at least January 31, in other words, for at least 13 days. Possibly longer. All of these questions arise as a result of statements last week by Omar so widely interpreted as anti-Semitic that Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi, D. California, publicly rebuked the freshman from Minnesota. The statements furthered the ongoing concerns that Omar traffics in anti-Semitic tropes. Ocasio-Cortez, who is facing her own scandal regarding the disastrous rollout of her Green New Deal, said she is proud of Omar. The Democrats are quickly becoming the party associated with anti-Semitism. Democrat New York Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez praised fellow Democrat, Minnesota Representative Ilhan Omar, on Tuesday for claiming Republicans' support for Israel is bought by the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, AIPAC. Unlike this president, Rep. Omar demonstrated a capacity to acknowledge pain and apologize, use the opportunity to learn about history of anti-Semitism, plus grow from it while clarifying her stance, Ocasio-Cortez tweeted. I'm also inspired by Jewish leadership who brought her in, not push her out, to heal. Omar is facing massive backlash after she quote-tweeted a link to an article by Haaretz where House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy threatened punishment against Omar and Democratic Michigan Representative Rashida Tlaib, America's first two Muslim congresswomen. Both Omar and Tlaib have been embroiled in allegations of anti-Semitism. Omar first commented on the tweet, saying it's all about the Benjamin's baby, and after she was pressed to clarify who she was referring to, she tweeted AIPAC. The comments received swift condemnation from members of Congress on both sides of the aisle, including from House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and the Democratic leadership. Lots of people here proclaiming to be woke trying to police communities on what they are/aren't allowed to be upset by, Ocasio-Cortez continued. I'm proud, Omar raised the issue of lobbyist money in politics and equally proud of her sensitivity to communities. Both are possible. While Omar has been in office less than 2 months, she's been surrounded by a number of controversies involving anti-Semitism. The freshman congresswoman defended anti-Israeli statements, such as ones invoking Allah to expose Israel's evil doings, and she has come out in favor of the boycott, divestment and sanctions, BDS, movement, which seeks to punish the nation-state of Israel by economically depriving the country for its alleged mistreatment of Palestinians living in the Gaza Strip and West Bank. Omar was also on the record implying that Israel is not a democracy and gave an interview to a host that called Israel Jewish ISIS. While Ocasio-Cortez claimed to have Sephardic Jewish ancestry, she has also made some eyebrow-raising statements about Jews. The self-proclaimed radical compared a migrant caravan trying to enter the United States illegally to Jews fleeing the Holocaust. She later compared the effects of Democratic President Franklin D. Roosevelt's New Deal to the Holocaust, urging the United States to follow Germany's example by paying reparations and acknowledge the suffering that occurred during Nazi occupation. The New York Congresswoman also received backlash after she expressed gratitude for her correspondence with Jeremy Corbyn, the leader of UK's Labour Party. Corbyn has been plagued with accusations of anti-Semitism and has a long history of condemning Israel while applauding anti-Jewish terrorist organizations. Ocasio-Cortez is part of the Democratic Socialists of America, DSA, that supports BDS. The Daily Wire uncovered a 2017 video of DSA voting in favor of BDS while chanting "From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free," a famous Hamas rallying cry.